just going to talk about this new eCare app edition that was actually rolled out recently. So this was actually effective last week, April 4th. The eCare app now gives the PACs and the APPs the ability to take a picture of the hard copy consent from the iPad, and it automatically uploads to the patient's eCare app dashboard. So how will this addition improve clinical workflow? So the feedback that we have been receiving from our PACs is, one, they do not have quick access to a scanner in clinic, and two, it takes a lot of time for the patients to sign the hard copy consent, then scan it to their desktop and save it to their computer, and then upload it to the eCare app from their computer. So in lieu of the scanner, we have implemented this new addition to the eCare app, and we think this will improve clinical workflow because now you don't have to take out time out of your day to find a scanner or to scan the hard copy into your computer and save it and do all that crazy mess. So our former consent process will not change, meaning for those who are used to doing the iPad consent, meaning the patient will just get his or her finger and sign the consent on the iPad, you are still more than welcome to do that. And I know some of you guys in your clinical workflow, you are actually used to the patient signing a hard copy paper, and then you're actually used to uploading it on the computer, which is totally fine. So our two previous consent processes do not change. We are just adding in an additional process, which is I just like to call it the JPEG process, because that whenever you take a picture of the hard copy consent, it saves it into a JPEG file on your iPad. So that's what I mean by this green button where it says JPEG on it. So now I am just going to go through an overview of the instructions of how to do this. And I am going to send this PowerPoint to you via email so you can have for your reference. But also keep in mind that this is for the iPad only, just because you cannot take a picture with your desktop and then, you know, it's just hard to pick up your desktop and take a picture. There's no camera on your desktop computer. So just keep in mind that this is for iPad use only. So you want to go through the normal process when you are about to do the paper, or when you're about to do the consent process. You actually want to start out by clicking the paper consent option, which is circled in red in the eCare app dashboard. And then, of course, you want to still proceed through the questions to the paper consent, and you want to proceed till you get to the Browse button, which is that blue button at the very bottom. So once you click on that Browse button, keep in mind you are using the iPad. So on the iPad, when you click on that Browse button, you're going to see a pop-up that says Take Photo or Video, Photo Library, iCloud, or More. So you want to select on that Take Photo or Video. So once you click on Take Photo or Video, you will actually automatically come to the camera on the iPad. So on the left-hand side, this picture is actually the picture of our hard copy consent that the patient has already signed. And then if you look on the right-hand side of, you'll see a picture of I'm just getting my iPad and I'm just putting the screen on over that hard copy consent. So the whole hard copy consent is within the iPad. I hope that makes sense. But once you click on this Take Photo or Video button, it will just automatically take you to the camera already on the iPad. So once you have a good view of the hard copy consent on the iPad, you will see this circular caption icon, which is on the left-hand side of the screen. If you can see where my finger is at, it's that circular white icon. So you click on that, and it snaps a picture of that hard copy consent. And then if you go to the right-hand side of the screen, you will see another picture. And once you click on that circular icon, you will see the words Use Photo pop up. And so you click on Use Photo. And so right after you click on Use Photo, as you can see, this automatically uploads to that browse bar. So that means once you hit that Use Photo, it automatically is implemented in that patient's eCare app dashboard. So it is automatic, and it's there after you take the picture, and then you can just hit save and finalize, and as you can see, the clinical research consent icon will turn green. So this is just some reminders and helpful hints. Just if you can remember that the iPad is encrypted. When we got the iPad, it was automatically encrypted, and then Misha put in another encrypted security tool in there. So I just want to let you guys know, for your peace of mind, the iPad is encrypted. And then for the second bullet, just remember that this picture version is only available for the iPad and not the desktop. And also still keep in mind that you may still continue to use your other consent processes if that's much easier, which includes just the signature consent through the iPad, or you can just feel free to still scan the consent and upload it to the computer if you want to do it that way. And also for the fourth bullet, I know in our clinic here at Wake Forest, our PAC Gail, instead of having to print off a hard copy consent each time a patient wants to do a hard copy consent, she just keeps a stack of maybe 50 consents in her clinic. So that actually prevents the time of going out of her way to have to actually print something. So she just keeps a stack of the hard copy consents in clinic. So that may work for you guys if you haven't been doing it already. And also for the fifth bullet there at the bottom, although when you take the picture of the hard copy consent, it does get uploaded into the eCare app. So here at Wake Forest, we do have a database of those consents, so it never gets lost anywhere. But it may be wise just for you to still keep those consents in your clinic somewhere. It's just good management, a good tracking system. So once you take a picture of the hard copy consent, please do keep it safe in your clinic anywhere. So, and then for the last bullet there on the right-hand side, so some of you guys may not be that well-versed in technology, which is totally fine. So if you do want to use this route, using this picture because you feel that it's easier, just for practice purposes, it may help for you to have the patient sign the hard copy consent first, have all your patients do it for that day, and then maybe at the end of the day, when you're not seeing patients, when you're not busy, you can upload this on your own through that picture taking process. Just because if you do this with a patient and it's your first time, you may be nervous, you may have a little bit of hiccups. So I just put for practice purposes for those who aren't comfortable with technology but want to use this process. It may help for all the patients to sign the consents first, and then on your own behind closed doors you can practice uploading it by taking a picture and doing it that way. So that is actually a very short demonstration. We aren't able to actually provide a demo live on the iPad because the iPad won't have that webinar link, but I am going to give you these PowerPoints after this call so you guys can have it in your emails for safekeeping and for your reference. So I do want to thank two people. Special thanks goes to Whitney Arrington. She is the PAC from Wave 3, and she was actually the one who came up with this idea. So thank you, Whitney. And then she brought it up to me, and like Sylvia said, I went up to the programmers, and we just kind of ran with the idea, and we loved it. And so now it is actually implemented. It has been rolled out April 4th, so you can start this today and forever. And then another special thanks goes to Jenna Langman. She is our undergraduate student intern from Wake Forest University, and she helped me create this PowerPoint, and just to make sure it's easy that you guys can see the instructions and all that stuff. But she is a undergraduate sophomore. She's a biology major with a minor in neuroscience. So those are just two people I wanted to give a shout out to. So is there any questions with this new consent process that you have, or do I need to elaborate on anything that maybe I missed? Is there any questions? Do you guys think you'll be able to use this, or do you guys think it will be easier for y'all's clinical workflow?
This is Terry at Carteret. I think it's a great idea. I think it'll help our workflow tremendously, so I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, no problem. That's good to hear. Like I said, the feedback we got from the PACs was, one, they didn't have a quick access to a scanner, and two, it actually takes a lot of time to scan that through the scanner, put it in your desktop computer, and then upload it to the eCare app. So this simple click of that circular capture icon on the iPad, it would just automatically upload to the eCare app. So thank you for that feedback, Terry.
Yeah, and it's a good example of when we say to you during these meetings, as well as our individual site specific on a monthly basis, tell us any good ideas that you have, because we will certainly make every effort to implement them. So thanks again to Whitney and then to Rika for making her idea come true. And as you work to use this new addition, if you have, just like always, if you have any questions or have a glitch, just let Rika or me know. If you let me know, I'm going to refer you to Rika. So let Rika know, because she's our techie person and she can help you work out any hiccup.